So what would be the perfect lighter? If I could combine the ease of use and quickness of getting my flame wherever it is I need it from a simple lighter with the reliability of a fire steel and the simplicity in many ways of the match and the reach that I get by using a typical match. If I could combine all of that in one lighter, is there anything kind of like that? Well, yeah, sort of something like this, folks. This is Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist, and this isn't anything new. These things have been around forever. I've had a couple of similar lighters over the years, many years ago, and they work fine, they work okay. I never thought about them all that much. They seem kind of like quirky. Maybe you're familiar with them, maybe not. It's quite simple. The concept is just a bottle where you keep the lighter fluid inside, and you have a little match, a little metal match. Sometimes you see these marketed as steel matches because you have a little bit of a screw there, O-ring, so as to keep this airtight, and a metal little tube with a wick inside and a striker right there in the tip. And you have some ferrocerium rod stuck there on the side, and which allows you to just do something like this. I'm just trying to not burn the camera, but you kind of get the concept, right? It's a lot faster and a lot quicker. You don't have to do this with a camera between your hands, but believe me, it does work kind of quickly most of the time, and I'm not gonna be editing this, so there it goes. So you see, once it lights nicely. It's a pretty solid flame, and you have that match thing of using it almost like a little torch thing going on here. Doesn't last for a super long time because you quickly burn out that liquid, the fuel that's inside this tube. The wick goes in there all the way through, so once that evaporates, yeah, that's it for your little match. But once you dip it again into the little bottle, boom, you're back in business. So that is pretty much all there is to it. Now, I was just thinking about this, how it combines a couple interesting things. First of all, you have a way of starting fire. That's clear enough, right? Over the years, I've never given it much thought because it always seemed kind of like complicated just to start a fire with this compared to this, right? Now, I don't smoke. It's not something that I'm doing all the time. Whenever I want to start a fire, I probably want something that's more on the side of reliability, durability, long-term, and how practical it is, how much reach I have. All of those things are going to be a lot more important for me than, quickly lighting a cigarette, because again, not my thing. And that's where I end up reconsidering this metal match thing, giving how I have all the liquid I need, all the lighter fluid I need already in a little bottle, airtight. Something that you guys have commented. Yes, I do read the comments, and I know that some of you guys have your Zippo and have your little canister of fuel of lighter fluid in a little canister in your keychain or somewhere in your kit. This is kind of like the same thing, but combined in a way that already allows you to start that fire. And I like that. I like the idea of being able to reach wherever it is that you have to start a fire, especially if you're starting a fire, a campfire. It's not like lighting a cigarette. Sometimes you have to reach, the flammable material, the tinder, and a match allows you to do that, unlike your typical lighter, which maybe you burn something else and get closer. This just allows you to go right in there. At the same time, I also realize it's combining a little bit of this, and quite a bit of this, because at the end of the day, I still have a pretty long piece of fire steel. This ferrocerium rod that is embedded there on the side, it is quite large. It will allow me to strike several times. And even if I run out of fluid and it's not lighting anymore, those sparks are serious enough that it can start a fire pretty much like using a fire steel. Now, this is bigger, thicker, better. No argument there. But this is combining those two things in one. Now, As always, criticisms, yes, of course, we can make a couple. I think it's still a bit quirky. The thing, as you just saw me struggle a little bit there. And again, it's true that the camera makes it a little bit more not as easy, but it has that lack of speed from your typical lighter, right? This is quicker, but it's not all that different from this. You still remove something and you strike something. So that is where, yeah, it is kind of like a metal match. And the ability of, over the years, I've understood that matches are great as long as they're kept in good condition, and the material that actually ignites and allows you to have a flame at all, it can be kind of sensitive to mechanical impact, pressure, degraded because of humidity, and a number of other things. It's not always all that reliable. Right, as you just saw, a little bit of humidity and these things are done. Even though these have never been in contact with water, a little bit of humidity will ruin an entire box of these things. And there is where you have to start counting your blessings and see how lucky you get. Love these things, not always as reliable as we'd like them to be. This, on the other hand, I think it's even more simple. I think it's even more reliable than this when exposed to less than ideal conditions. So basically, I like the idea of having that middle match, the reach, the liquid being sealed inside airtight. It's renewed each time you dip it into the bottle of fluid, and I still have that backup. I still have that fire still in case everything goes wrong and I don't have any liquid and I just have to rely on the spark to get a fire going. Guys, that's basically it. Just a few thoughts that I had regarding all of this stuff. Remember, if you want to learn more about survival preparedness, street survival skills, where I talk a bunch about EDC and other practical aspects, and surviving the economic collapse, a book you definitely want to get given the times we're living in. See you in the next video. Take care.